Hello, I'm Brian DiCiano, and welcome to the Red Napkin. Today I'm going to be presenting to you the Pisco Sour. This is a classic drink, invented in the early 1900s. I believe, or at least I've heard, it was invented by a person from Utah, but it's become pretty much the national drink of Peru. Um, Using Pisco, Pisco, today I'm using Gran Sierpe Pisco. It's from Peru. It's a very good Pisco. Um, the Peruvians and the Chileans are kind of in a heated debate, and probably have been for a very long time, about who invented Pisco. And I don't know, it seems like it's more of a Peruvian kind of thing, but it's one of those, you never really know. I mean, it's like vodka being between, the Russians and the Poles, um, and or whiskey between the Irish and the Scottish. You can't really ever know who, actually invented it, but it seems like better piscos come from Peru. And so Pisco is basically a brandy type. It's made from, there are three different types of Pisco. There's Quebranta, there's Acolado, or Acholado, and there's one other type, I can't remember what it's called, but basically Quebranta is the type of grape. It's a Quebranta grape, and makes a specific style of Pisco. And then the other ones are going to be, I think the Quebranta or Chebranta, I think it's Quebranta. What is this? No, the Acolado or Acholado Pisco, I think is a blended type of Pisco. And then the third type, which I can't remember the name right now, tends to be like a fruity, floral, more type of Pisco. And these Quebranta Piscos tend to be a little more earthy, a little more, rustic style. Although this one is very nice. It's very soft. It kind of has like a buttery kind of quality to it, similar to a cachaça, but yet it has still like an eau de vie type of like fruitiness and interesting kind of flavor and aroma to it. One of the cool things about Pisco is that, I don't know about all of them, but some of them are actually distilled to proof, so that, which differs from pretty much all other spirits, which would be distilled to a high proof and then they add water to it to bring it down to bottle strength. And that's not the case with Pisco, or at least some of the Piscos. They distill it to the actual bottling strength, and so they're not adding any other water to it or anything else that might degrade the full experience of their Pisco. So the Pisco Sour is a classic drink, simple drink. I'm going to start making it for you. I'm using a plastic mixing glass here on purpose, because what I'm going to be doing is dry shaking, because we're going to be using egg white. And when you're dry shaking, you don't have the ice to cause a chill, which creates a vacuum seal. And so you can get like seepage, and it'll leak, between the tin and the pint glass if it's glass, and sometimes it just splashes on you and it's no fun. So with the plastic, it'll create a little better of a seal, and won't splash on me or your guest or all over your bar or your floor, all over anything. So and another cool thing about this Pisco Sour I'm going to be making for you today is that I'm using Mexican key limes. I've heard that Mexican key limes are kind of the most authentic type of lime that would be more consistent with what they would have in Peru. I've heard this from Enrique at Lamar in San Francisco. They make thousands and thousands of Pisco Sours. They said that they have the highest highest Pisco sales in all of the United States. So that's a pretty good feat to accomplish there. So this Pisco Sour is a 3:1:1 ratio. That's pretty much the classic ratio you'll find. I'm not going to use actually 3 ounces of Pisco. I don't really want it to be that strong, so I'll use 2 ounces of Pisco and then just slightly under 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice and the sugar syrup. And so I'll start with the egg white. I've previously, separated the egg white from the egg yolk, and you want to do that separately because you don't want to get any shell, or if you break the yolk, then if you have all your other expensive ingredients already in your pint glass and then you dump a broken yolk in there or a bunch of shell, then causes a lot of problems and you ruin a drink. So really easy to just do it separately and then just put it right there in the pint glass. And then I'll add my slightly under 3/4 of an ounce. 20 mils is going to be the measure, 20 milliliters, because then I'll be using 2 ounces, which is 60 mils of Pisco. Need my sugar. This is just a basic 1:1 ratio sugar syrup, and then I will measure this out. It's going to add balancing sugar to the acidic key limes. Key limes are a little more tart than regular limes, like Mexican limes or the standard limes that we get here. And then the full 2 ounces of this really nice Pisco. And then you're going to dry shake, and you got to shake it really hard. Make sure it's got a really good seal on there. So what that's doing is creating that emulsion, the egg white getting incorporated into all those liquid ingredients. So then I'm going to add a bunch of ice onto here, lots of ice. And give this a really, really good vigorous shake now. Yeah, it's a good workout for you, but usually what you do is you have someone else shake it for you, like a bar back or something like that. And now there is a classic Pisco Sour glass. This is somewhat similar, but it'll work fine for this. And then a fine strain, because you don't want to get those little ice chips in there. And just get that great texture in the egg white. Froth, velvety texture. Really nice. And then one of the things that kind of sets this drink apart from other drinks in that when it has bitters in it, but it doesn't actually have the bitters in the drink. Basically, you just take Angostura bitters and put a couple drops just on top. And then take like a little cocktail pick and then just kind of make some crazy little design on there. Served on a red napkin. And there you have classic Pisco Sour. Enjoy it.